Hello and welcome to Clusters. Last time we heard from Paul and Silas, they were in the Macedonian city of Philippi. When they depart, their band of missionaries is reduced in size as Luke, the author of Acts and the gospel that bears his name, is left behind, perhaps to pastor the church there. As we move into chapter 17, the others head west and then south around the coast of Macedonia and on into Greece. This takes them first to Thessalonica, then to Berea, and finally to the great city of Athens. What's interesting is the different reactions they get from people in the various places. The first city they come to is Thessalonica, where, as usual, they head to the local synagogue to preach. Paul speaks there for 3 consecutive Sabbaths, and although he has some success, especially amongst the Greek converts to Judaism, the backlash from some of the Jewish people who live there is astonishing. Luke describes them as being jealous, which is a word we've come across before to describe such people. I guess they're jealous of the success that Paul and Silas have in winning their hard-won Greek converts away from them, but also jealous for their own traditions and beliefs, feeling threatened by this new, vibrant teaching that's so close to their own. What do you think our society might be jealous of today that means many hate Christians and what we stand for? The Jews hire some thugs from the marketplace and storm round to the place where they're staying, but only find their host, Jason. So they drag him and a few other believers before the authorities, who don't really seem to know what to do with them, and so release them on bail. Now that's the first response. They escape the city at night and move on to Berea. The Jews there are described as being of more noble character than those of Thessalonica, in that they check up on what Paul and Silas are teaching them. They don't accept their teaching blindly, but neither do they reject their teaching blindly. Instead, they go to the Bible to make sure what they're being taught is true and fits with Scripture. And then some of the more radical Jews from Thessalonica turn up and cause more trouble for them, and the brothers are forced to head for the coast. And Paul himself carries on to Athens. Athens, of course, was famous for its great architecture, but also for its philosophers and the open discussion of new ideas. And so after familiarizing himself with the city and its culture, Paul goes to the philosophical hub of the ancient world, the Areopagus, to preach Christ crucified. His illustration of the statue of the unknown God is justly famous, but spend some time looking through his sermon. How does he get their attention? How does he explain the gospel for a non-Jewish audience? What does he say that causes some to scoff? And why do you think that is? Next week is half term, so there'll be no meetings then. I'll see you the week after for a study in chapter 18. But for now, have a great cluster.